Hello and welcome back to the channel that no one knows. As you all know, I am the VT villain, and here with me is Deadman. Check out his link in the description below to check out real movie reviews. Welcome to the
Proper
very
movie
first
reviews.
episode of Villains versus Movies. That's right, villains, because we are both bad guys and everything that we do. Here we are here to
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. Here we're here to talk about the Cloverfield universe. That is Cloverfield 1, 10 Cloverfield Lane, and Super 8. Although a lot of people don't seem to think that's part of the Cloverfield universe, but we do. But we believe that's the case, don't we?
We believe that's the case for like a number of reasons. Number one is that, Cloverfield has never been defined as an alien or a terrestrial thing. So the idea that Super 8, who is an alien, could exist in this universe, directly tying into 10 Cloverfield Lane. Oh, hold on. Before we go any further, spoiler alert.
Oh yes, spoiler alert! Spoilers.
So, yeah, getting back to it. The idea that aliens could exist not only in the 10 Cloverfield Lane movie, which is directly tied to Cloverfield, but Super 8 as well. So, I mean, like, come on. Like, how could you not connect the two, as well as several locations being iconically similar?
Of course, the gas station.
The gas station, the railroad tracks that are shown like for brief seconds. Yeah, no, it's all part of the same universe. Like, no matter how you paint it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, not even to mention like the alien from Super 8 looks a lot like the Cloverfield monster if you really look at it.
If you slow it down to certain parts, yeah, it really does look like a member of the Clovis family.
Yes, family. That's right. There is possibly more than one because of I don't know if a lot of people actually know this, but actually in the tie-in manga, the prequel, at the very end of it, the Cloverfield monster might not be alone. For at the end, it saw like a bunch of eggs, almost like a nest. And a theory is, at least my theory is that the Cloverfield monster in the movie is not the same monster from the manga. So you also should check it out. What's it called? Cloverfield slash Kishi, I think is what it's called.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, but yes, you all should
Um,
check it out.
I think one of the more impressive things is that we have several confirmations from like J.J. Abrams, like the guy that made this entire universe, that um, Clovey is just a baby.
Yes,
Uh,
big,
I believe
huge,
he just, yeah, big angry baby.
yeah, big, huge baby that terrorizes everything and whose dandruff is deadly and cause people to explode.
Oh, the tick or the fleas, yeah. Ugh.
Golly. Well, speaking of which, let's start. Let's actually start with the first movie, Cloverfield. Uh,
Okay, well, you want to go in chronological order, or you want to go by order of release?
I'm gonna go by order of release.
All
I
right,
don't
so
mind.
let's tackle Cloverfield. Now,
Absolutely.
there's a lot about this movie that we absolutely love, and don't get us wrong, we're gonna be bashing on these movies a lot, but we love these movies, we really do.
Oh yes,
Um,
absolutely. The presentation. I mean, I found it absolutely fascinating to see a monster attack from a purely civilian point of view. Well, at least for the first half, anyway.
I always equated this to Jaws from the victim's perspective, but
Oh yes.
oh yeah, let's just talk about some of the horrible things in this, and that is honestly some of the dialogue. Some of the dialogue in this movie is just rampant, bad, freaking typical horror movie dialogue.
Yeah, I really can't argue. I, I partially blame the decision of making it as a found footage type of deal. I mean, it's interesting, but there are some negative things about it. Like for one, is exactly the dialogue. It's like, you're thrown in with these people you hardly don't know, and and you see the dog about the dialogue about them doing these things, and it's like it just feels like unfinished.
It feels like their friendship is like highly superfluous. It's just the veil. Um, so yeah, some of the lines fall really, really flat. Like when T.J. Miller or HUD is flirting with a little goth girl in the sewers, or not the sewers, the subway, after she gets bit by the flea, and it's just really bad dial. It's so awkward and clunky. And I'm just sitting there like, oh, show the monster already.
Yeah, and that's actually the biggest part I have, like the biggest feeling I have with this movie. The thing is that the first half is actually kind of great. It's like, oh crap, the monster's attacking. We have to get out of here. And then it became like, oh, I left her behind. She's in trouble. I have to go get her. And then that's when I just groaned. I was like, okay, here we go. And the second half is just pretty much like, them trying to get to this girl, which I guess is kind of fine and well in one sense, but the bigger story, the more interesting aspect is the monster and how they're gonna handle it. Not this guy trying to get to his what would be girlfriend, fiance, kind of sort of friends with benefits. What
They
is
were
this?
best friends for like most of their life, and then one day they slept together, and the sex ruined the entire relationship.
Oh well, yeah, well there you go. And and that's one of the aspects I have about this movie. It's like them trying to run away from the plot, and I'm just kind of like, I mean, think about it. I mean, like during the whole subway section, it's like, okay, they're sitting there in the subway, they're trapped. Okay, now we have to go down and follow the subway. And it's like, okay, I gotta find my girlfriend, or whatever, friend with benefits. I don't care, but
One
whatever,
night stand.
whatever she is, I have to go find her. It's like, whatever, I don't care. And then here comes like the ticks or fleas or whichever you want to call them, and they bust it on in. It's like, hello, here the plot is come to save the day.
I will say I have to agree. I have to agree. The moments of melodrama were interrupted by the plot.
Exactly, exactly. And then, golly, and then when you have the
Like,
military,
hold on.
facing
You're being too human now. Hey, wrangle up the monsters. There we go.
exactly,
But
exactly.
I love the aspect of the found footage, and I absolutely hate the aspect of the found footage. Um, by limiting the characters' interaction and their characters' ability to show you what's happening, it's really cool because it allows you to use your imagination to fill in blanks, and in that makes some things more horrible. Like, we do know that I think her name is Marla or Marlene or something like that. She gets bit. She starts bleeding from the eyes. They take her behind it. We don't see her explode.
Yeah,
We
we
see
see
the
just her
shadow.
shadow. Yeah, her
Yeah.
shadow just explodes.
So I like a lot of people say, oh, it's so lazy. It's so lazy to do found footage. But I'm like, if it's done right, if it lets you fill in blanks, it's okay. Like, and this is one of those movies that was okay because it lets you fill in blanks. It lets you build the mystery for yourself. Like, what the hell are the ticks, or the fleas? We'll call them ticks. They're called ticks from now on. What the hell were the ticks?
You heard it, the ticks.
Yeah, JJ, come fight me. Anyways, what the hell are the ticks? Where did this thing come from? Why is it attacking New York? Well, we know why it's attacking New York. J.J. Abrams gave us that much. He said, it's a confused baby, angry and lost. So, damn, someone's got to get a leash on their kid.
Come on, mama. Junior's causing havoc. But yeah,
So,
see, but
yeah.
yeah, I do agree. Like the only thing about found footage that kind of gets me is that when I saw this movie in theaters, I had to see it twice because a friend of mine who I saw it with actually was getting motion sickness.
Yeah.
And yeah, and that's actually the negative side about found footage because if you do that, you kind of already alienated, a part of your audience because there are quite a few people out there who can't take that kind of shaky cam like that. And so I had to leave, for his sake. It's like, I wasn't gonna like leave him hanging. So I had to come back later the next day to actually see the movie proper, by myself, which is a shame because I like going to the movie with friends, and so that found footage actually kind of got me.
I mean, it never did for me. Like I don't have an issue with found footage. Like the cam. You know what kills me is shaky cam during fight scenes. But that's a whole nother podcast. So in the end, Cloverfield just an absolutely tour de force for J.J. Abrams has so many flaws and it's so awesome at the same time. Um,
Exactly. We just didn't have to sit through the other half of it. Like, oh, I gotta find my girlfriend, kind of with benefits, sort of, that we had sex, maybe. Just didn't have to focus on that because I hate it when the movies do that. It's like, no, no, we don't care. We don't care. Why would we care? Show us the damn monster. Show us how humans down there are trying to deal with it. The military trying to destroy it. People trying to get away from it. That's what we care about. We don't care about this chick and what you are and what you do. I tell you, dude. And everyone was telling them, it's like, it's like, don't do this, don't do this. Like the military, it's like, you just saw your friend explode, don't do this. And it's like, oh no, but I gotta, because I haven't gotten laid since last time.
well, I mean, the thing is that like any J.J. Abrams movie, there is so much uh just hidden in the movie, and you have to seek it out. Otherwise, like what was a Russian guy saying when they were walking through the alley?
That's
You
the
know, like
vodka?
I forgot what he was saying specifically. That might be it, but he was he's trying to pull them, and he's trying to be like, he's saying something in Czech or Russian, and I'm like, what did he say? On top of all of that, why is the movie's called Cloverfield? We call it a monster Clovey, but if you actually pay attention to the opening credits, it's subject Cloverfield
Yeah.
or because the Cloverfield incident, something like that. So yeah, how you also have this little tidbit of audio right at the beginning where you hear this dude like whisper like, "Oh, it's still alive." So like there's just so much like J.J. Abrams packs into these movies that you could just watch and be like, just turn your brain off and be like, "Hey, cool, dumb monster destroy city." But
Sounds like an evening.
yeah, but if you're like me, you spot all those little things. You're like, what did that dude say? Why is that guy there? What is he doing? What does this company have to do with anything? And it just keeps going and going, and it starts to build this lore, and that's what we're talking about today. There's this huge lore in the universe, created just by this weird dumb monster flick. So
Indeed.
I think we can move on to the next one, which is Super 8.
Yeah, Super 8. That's still being debated on whether it's part of the Cloverfield universe. And truth be told, I hope it is. Because I'm not even joking. Super 8, honestly, is I believe what Cloverfield should have been. Because it had the one aspect that I really wanted in Cloverfield. Everything was focused on the situation at hand. There was
Well,
no
there were divergent paths. This is the part about Super 8 that pissed me off. Like, why the fuck? And I'm sorry if we're trying to keep this clean, but why are we focusing on this dude and his crush and this other dude and the same crush when we have an alien? And yeah, okay, the alien takes precedent over everything, but why are we having these long lasting scenes um on this whole crush situation?
I do admit the whole crush thing does last a bit longer than than I would have liked. But considering the end game, I think it's a good payoff because it's like, okay, we really like this girl, I really like this girl, I really like this girl, and I have to save this girl, much like in the Cloverfield movie. But unlike the Cloverfield movie, we can't run away from the plot because saving the girl, you got to go into the monster's den to get her, pal.
Yeah, it's a short walk around New York.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I like. I didn't mind it because the thing is that in the end, even if it was like even if everything was divergent, it still forced itself back into the main thing. It was still part of this plot around the alien, and that's why I didn't mind. So it's like, okay, this guy likes the girl. Okay, fine. The monster kidnapped the girl. Okay, I gotta get her back. I can't run away from the plot this time. I gotta get this girl. I had to go through you to do it. So yeah. So I didn't mind that. And plus everything else is like, the military came in because it's actually kind of interesting how everything just kind of converges on the thing because like the only one who actually understands at first is the military and the biologist teacher dude who goes nuts and derails the train.
Yeah, and that was never explained.
I think you had to kind of piece it together. What I gathered from it was, since the biologist and uh, and the
No,
alien kind of
wait, wait,
showed
wait.
that,
Yeah,
the, yeah,
he worked at the facility where the alien was kept. That's right.
yeah, exactly. And it's like no, I have to get him out. I have to try and save him, and bam. Although I still don't understand how a truck can derail an entire train like that. What the
Well,
heck was in that truck? Freaking kryptonite laced with adamantium?
they don't build them like they used to.
They really freaking don't.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The whole thing that puzzled me about that scene was how the hell did he survive?
Seriously.
Like we see all these fails and stuff on YouTube where these people get liquefied by a train, and then in this one J.J. Abrams movie, this guy not only survives but it lives long enough to tell a 3-part story.
Yeah,
you know, like what happened to you? It all started when I was a child. Oh hell.
I tell you, man. Oh my, and yeah, you're right. It's like just a few scrapes and bruises. Like, what the hell are you, a mutant?
Like, I think you're hanging out with that alien dude a little bit too long.
Seriously, I mean, golly, I wouldn't be surprised if the alien gave him some kind of like super endurance. Because you're right, he should have been like liquefied or disintegrated or whatever, man. But
I
no, he's
mean,
like,
the whole train station went up in flames and smoke, and there he is, like in his truck, like I need a band-aid.
oh, the big one? No, small.
No, small. Well, you just got hit by a train. Oh yeah, I'm
I'll
fine
walk it off.
from that. This is from earlier. What? What? I mean, um, Super 8, like I like how you're saying that's what Cloverfield should have been, but I highly, highly, highly disagree. Um, Super 8 is really this grandiose story. You got converging storylines. You got the girl crush, the drunk dad, the drug addict bus driver guy. I forgot his name. You got the cop dad. You got the old footage of the alien. Like there's a lot of divergent storylines that are all congealing to one point, and that's the alien, and just send them home. Like, go away,
Well,
dude.
yeah, I mean that's what I mean. It's like I'm not saying like it had to pop apart. I'm just saying like how it all should have still connected into one. I mean, like I said, it was just really awkward for me just hearing this guy talk about I must get this girl, and I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just me. I just couldn't stand that. I
I,
just like
I I
how.
think you're still suffering from Titanic syndrome. I'll never
Oh,
let go of Jack syndrome.
oh God. Oh yeah, that's an entire different
Yeah, that's a
episode. Yeah,
whole
let's
whole nother
focus, but
one.
but just a little note. Yeah, Titanic, the most overrated movie in cinema history, and yeah, I stand by that.
So now we've talked about some of the good. Let's really bite into this movie. What sucked was that they never fully show the goddamn alien. It's always blurred, and there's no reason after a certain point for it to be blurred.
Oh yes. Well, it uses the shadow to its advantage to strike terror in the hearts of its meal.
Well, I quote Mitch Hedberg, okay? Bigfoot scares me because either everybody who films them is a crappy cameraman, or there's a big blurry monster out there, and that scares me.
Well, yeah, yeah, pretty much.
And that's just it. Like after a certain point, we know it's an alien. We know it eats people. We know it eats dogs. We know it's stealing car. Like, why are
Yeah,
you blurring it?
yeah. If you're meat, you're dead.
Yeah, if you're talking meat, you're dead. Like why are you blurring it? Why is it blurred? Why are the angles so askew when you're trying to show the scale of the alien versus the kid?
Maybe he's camera shy.
He's not supposed to know the cameras are there unless it was a real damn alien.
Well, he saw cameras all his life. Maybe a camera killed his father. How the hell should I know?
Oh my god, it annoys me. It annoys me to no end. Like I'm just sitting here like, are we still on this? We're still on. Okay. Oh god.
Oh yeah, I tell you. But yeah, and the actual interesting thing about this movie, this is perhaps the movie that actually ties into why 10 Cloverfield Lane, ending is like the way it is. Probably shouldn't have let him go. He probably get a report back to his people, and it's like, let me tell you about these bastards called humans.
Or maybe it's the other way around, and the guy from Super 8 knew what was coming at the end of 10 Cloverfield Lane, was just like, you know what? I'm out.
Right?
Like, nah, nah. You see, I eat people and dogs and I don't do what they do. No.
Absolute cruelty.
So I'm out, bitches. I'm taking your sheriff though. He's tasty.
Yeah, well, I guess you like aged meat, I guess, Aged to perfection.
So I mean, yeah, I mean, like, oh god. Also, I think I think that the movie just could have done with just one less storyline. Just
Which
one.
one's that?
The drunk dad. Like,
You're probably right there.
we didn't need that. Remember Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire? Like, it takes one scene and one scene alone to establish that Mary Jane's dad is a drunken prick.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
pretty much.
it's 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 seconds. It's seconds long. But for the rest of the movie, we're like, yeah, Mary Jane Watson has a prick, an asshole, drunk dad. Like, why did we need this entire just plot line involving this drunk asshole dad that ended up going nowhere?
I guess give some of the other characters closure, I guess. I don't know. Maybe trying to be deeper than it was.
I mean, like, what do you think about that? I mean, like, I have my opinion. I think it's crap. I think it could have done without it. What do you think?
Truth be told, I just kind of ignored it. I mean, everything else was just so good. It was just one of those, let's just get through this and we'll go right back to alien attacks.
Although we both have to agree that that dude getting eaten in the overturned bus was highly satisfying.
Oh man, I tell you. Although, I love that scene except for that one part where that one kid was like projectile vomiting all over the place. Good grief! I so didn't need that.
Like, we can pretend to be macho tough guys and be like, I would never do that. No, we'd probably do that.
yeah. I'm not even joking, dude. I would piss my pants. It's like,
You know,
okay, we are so dead. I've been holding that in since Jeopardy.
and okay, well, I mean, moving from tie-in to tie-in, from Super 8, I'm not going to say a large chunk, but there is a very iconic set, and that is the gas station uh, in Super 8. And it exists in the 10 Cloverfield Lane movie.
Ah, yes, upscaled and upgraded. Although I found it very interesting that when they showed the gas station, they didn't show the area surrounding the gas station. The trash and the vegetation or anything like that. It was just the gas station, literally in the middle of darkness.
Yeah.
Golly, I tell you.
Well, I mean, like considering like what they were trying to set up, it's like this is the middle of nowhere. Welcome to the middle of nowhere. It's the middle of nowhere. We have
Nowhere
a
is the
gas
middle.
station. you know, like we have a gas station. Enjoy our gas station in the middle of nowhere.
Freaking trust. And like I said, this is the reason why I really hope Super 8 is an official part of the Cloverfield universe, and not in this gas station. It's not just an Easter egg, because
Yeah.
like when you notice the ending of 10 Cloverfield Lane, if you take that ending and you take Super 8, it kind of makes a lot of sense in the way that the universe progressed that way.
Yep. And well, let's start with 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yes,
Um,
10 Cloverfield Lane.
I gotta tell you, not not a performance I expected from John Goodman, like at all.
I always knew he had it in him.
Well, I mean, like, oh man, I guess we'll get the good out of the way. He is really good in this movie at building this higher sense of tension. Like,
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, John Goodman's character, his mannerism, his depth, his performance. I mean, he is this movie. He steals the movie completely. And it's not hard to understand why.
yeah, I mean, just everything about him is like everything about him is so subdued. Uh, but at the same time, there is this hard edge to the character and the way he speaks, the way he moves, even. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like, and not to mention, like, when you hear the story, it's like, of him making this bunker, it's like you always had this feeling that, he knew a lot more than he just blurted out or let on. Like, almost like he knew this was coming.
Yeah,
And not,
and we know because of the augmented reality game that J.J. Abrams put together, he was Employee of the Month for the company that not only owns the satellite that crashed and woke up Clovey, but the subsequent oil rig that was built over Clovey's bed, I guess.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, he is the one character that connects this movie to the other movies. And golly, it's a shame that he dies in the end. God damn it! Because you can tell we could have probably learned a lot more than we did from the movie, but once again,
And oh man, just the movie building so many layers. so quickly and so efficiently. Like, are they really alone? Are there other people? Yeah, okay, we get that answer. Yeah, there's other people, but they're dying, and we find out, oh, the air is toxic, but it's really not. There's other people, but there's really not. Like it's this J.J. Abrams mind fuck that just goes on with this movie, and I think it's on the radio. I think maybe because I have like a different version than everybody else, but on the version that I have, on the radio they're talking about the Clovey attack, and I was just like, this is a really deep universe that got built, and man, we got to talk about the vat of acid.
Oh yes, the acid. Clever way to dispose of waste. I'll give him that.
That scene was heavy, man.
Oh yes,
Like,
absolutely. You can, yeah. I mean, that scene is like you really got the sense of, it's like this is my world. You're just allowed in it,
yeah,
and
this strange sense of totalitarianism.
exactly. And it's like you hear by his rules, he's absolutely cool with you. You saw that little, that little, I guess you call it montage or whatever. It's like like after she accepts that, okay, maybe outside's not exactly safe. It's like okay, it's like all right, so we're just gonna play ball, and everything was cool. But of course, after the whole help me part and they start conspiring against him, he's like, who took my tools? What are you gonna do with them? That's when things start really getting heavy. And the acid scene, it's like just like damn, it's like what is this guy gonna do? Like how he's gonna just how he's gonna deploy this acid on this guy. It's like we use the torture him, we just flat out dunk him in there. It's like, ooh man, I mean I was nail biting. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it built a proper sense, man. It built this proper sense of not only tension, but oh man, just brutality. Just like this utter definition of there is nothing more past this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like yeah, this is yeah, this is the crossroads. This is where okay, this is where the sense of the movie is gonna shift completely forever. And and damn, like the way he even said it's like it's like I'm sorry, it's like I accept your apology, and then shoots him right in the
Boosh!
face.
Right in the mouth.
And the way he cries like you heard him, he was gonna hurt us, he was gonna hurt us, like hurt us. Damn, like it's still clamoring for his family. It's like God, I love this
Uh,
movie.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love this movie. I really do. But as part of the Cloverfield universe, I am very disappointed.
I and this is where our paths fork. Um, I love it, and I think it is a very, very, very interesting addition to the Cloverfield universe. In the idea that sometimes it's the tragedy that brings out the monsters. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, okay, Clovey was technically a monster, but this dude, the John Goodman's character, is literally a fucking monster.
Oh yes, I can't argue with that. I mean, yeah, I mean this. Sometimes you don't know understand people unless you a live with them or b experience how they are in a crisis. That's when everything is released. And that's when you understand the true nature of a person. My gripe about it is not the movie itself. Truth be told, if it was just standalone, I wouldn't have any gripes about it at all. I mean, I would call it damn near perfect. My gripe is the fact that it is part of the universe, and I'm looking at this and as part of the universe, and I'm like, what's the absolute point of this? I mean, in the
You
grand
gotta
scheme of,
got cut off there, man.
oh man, how about now? Am I good?
You're still cut off.
What the? What about now?
User in your channel timed out.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it seems like Deadman had some technical difficulties, so I'm gonna have to cut this out. But I'll cut in the second half to it. It'll probably be like a click or whatever, and see you in a few seconds.